Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I thought I'd talk about storage units. I saw an interesting fact about storage units, and I thought I'd tell you my thoughts and opinions about storage units. So the fact was, storage units in the U.S. could fit every person in the country, and they're still growing, like the storage unit facilities and stuff, which is a lot. I didn't look at the number. I forgot to look at the current population of the U.S., but I forgot, but I'm sure it's a lot. If you know that, put that down in the comments. So I did a little bit of research. Now, some of this is specific to my area, like the Dayton, Ohio area, because I live in Ohio. And now these could be different for you, could be depend on where you live, stuff like that. But in Dayton, Ohio area, the average cost of a storage unit across all the different sizes is between $30 and $230 per month. Now, that would be, I'm assuming the $30 is the smaller ones versus the larger ones, and going up to the larger ones. But I did write down, so I did look at a couple websites. A 5x5 storage unit, I saw roughly about $35 to $40. A 5x10, about $20 to $44. A 9x10, $110. A 10x10, looks like $48 to $150. A 10x14, getting really specific here, $155. A 10x15, I saw $119.63. A 10x20, $210. A 10x15, $215. 10x25, $240, and a 10x30, $275. Now, so there could be variations in prices between like an interior one, climate controlled. If you can just drive up and you can load from your car or something like that. More accessible, stuff like that. Prices could vary like that, which is, I guess, perfectly fine. So yeah, but just think about that. Even at that, 35 for the, let me do some math here. 35 for the smallest 5x5. Like I said, let me just do some math. Should have done this before. So the lowest I found was $35 for the 5x5. So if you're just doing a storage unit for 1 year, 12 months, the cost for the smallest one in my area for the lowest price of $35 was $420 for a year. That's not serious. That's some serious money just to store items. I don't know what you would want to store in it. Excess items, seasonal stuff, whatever. I don't know what you're storing in it, but that's a lot of money. You could do a lot of things with the $420. But yeah. And I did find some other statistics. Now, I'm assuming this next part might be nationwide averages. It didn't really say, but I'm assuming that. So the size for a standard average 5x5 is $53.60. A climate controlled 5x5 average is $47.38. Now, and both of those are above that $35. So you're spending more than $420. A 5x10 average, standard average, is $78.46. And they keep going up. A climate-controlled 5x10, $80.27. So your things can be comfortable. A 10x10, standard average. Now this is just the verbiage or the language that the website used that I found. Standard average. For the 10x10, $127.84. A climate-controlled 10x10, $127.56. A 10x15 standard average, $166.50. Now these are per month for the unit. A climate-controlled 10x15, $148.42. A 10x20 standard average, $218.18. Climate controlled for the same 10x20, $194.89. A 10x25. Like I said, I don't know what people store in these and how much what sizes people need. 10x25, $173.79. A climate controlled 10x25, $290.30. A 10x30 standard average, $302.28, and the climate controlled for that same size, $343.09. So just rough average, if you get a 10x30 standard, roughly it's going to cost you, let's say, we're just going to round for averages, 10 months for a 10x30 would be a little over, would be what, 10 times 300 would be 3,000? 30,000? I don't know. I'm not good with math. But yeah, so you're looking at a good chunk of change if you're, depending on what size storage you get. Size storage unit you get. Just to store stuff that you may not be using every day. Because I doubt you're going to go to the storage unit every day to get something from it. You probably aren't using it every month. Maybe not every 2 to 3 months. Like I said, you could be storing seasonal stuff in there. Christmas stuff, Hanukkah stuff, summer stuff. That could be kind of seasonal. I don't know. Just to me, personally, in my opinion, it just seems like a lot of money just to store things that you're not using. You could sell it, you could donate it, you could do something and save yourself that money every month. Just my opinion. But if you like the stuff and you don't want to get rid of it and you have the budget for it, great. Go ahead and do it. I'm not going to say don't do it, but just for me personally, I don't feel like it's that worth it. But like I said, you have to make that decision on your own to see what you could or could not do with the extra money. If you're struggling financially and you have it, maybe you want to reconsider something like that. Because like I said, that 10x30 for $320 a month. Let me see if I can do some math real quick. I'm just going to make it kind of simple. 300 times 12. 6. $3,600 for 10 months. Roughly. Plus the $2, the extra $2.28. So I mean, like I said, just over $3,600 for 12 months. you could do a lot of things with that. You could go on a vacation potentially, depending on where you want to go. You could pay down debt. You could, I don't know, buy something nice, buy a mattress, a new mattress. I don't know. Just thinking of something you could do with the money versus a storage unit. But that's just my opinion. So if you like the storage unit and you like the stuff in it, great. If you have a purpose for it, great. But I feel like they could be good, could be bad. They, in some instances, they could be good. If you, like college age students, if you were a college student and went to school out of state, or know someone, have a child, or know a college age student that went out of town that potentially used one, if it's just things you were using for college and you didn't want to lug it back and forth, and it's more economical to get a storage unit versus trying to ship it back to your home for the summer, great. That's a great thing. You know, and I'm sure they probably, and I do want to mention that some of the websites I looked at in my area did have some promotional, I don't know what you want to call it, promotional stuff, pricing. That's probably what we're looking for, promotional pricing. So I'm sure that the storage units in those college towns probably have some sort of like, I don't know what you want to call it, like a summer promotion, or like, oh, if you're coming back and you're like, if you're a student or student rate just for the summer, you could get it for this price per month or something. I'm sure they do something like that. Another potentially good reason to use a storage unit, if you are like kind of, I don't know how to phrase this, in between homes, like if you had to like move suddenly and you had to live with like a friend or a relative for a couple months while you look for another place, and you had some like bulky furniture or something, great. That might be worth it for you to use that while you get back on your feet, so to speak, or get that next place lined up, and you're not like cluttering up your friend or relative's house with all of your stuff. That might be good. Potentially a business owner, I'm not sure what they would use it for, what they may need to store. But that could also be something that they may need to do. But yeah, so if you can tell, I personally have never had a storage unit. I feel like I just rather get rid of my stuff or donate it to someone or a thrift store versus just clinging on to it and holding on to it. So that's just me, my opinion, and it doesn't really make sense for me personally, but like I said, if it makes sense for you, great. And if you get value out of it, great. That's perfectly fine with me. But like I said, if you're struggling financially, or if you're really not using the stuff, you may want to reconsider that storage unit. Because that $3,600 for that big giant one, I can't wrap my brain around it. So I guess I have some questions for you guys, if you want to leave them in the comments. Have you ever had a storage unit? Do you know the prices in your area? Because they just seem to be popping up everywhere, and it's one of those, they're just everywhere. So, like I said, if you ever used one, why did you use it? Do you have one? What do you keep in it? Like, how much do you know of any prices in your area of what they go for? Because that's a lot of money, and that's a lot of storage spaces, and I feel like we could do a lot more with that space instead of putting more storage unit facilities in there. But like I said, leave that info down in the comments, your thoughts, opinions about storage units also. I hope you have a great week, guys, and keep living the simple life.